What is and this is kind of like a two-part question. What is the most glaring issue right now on the entrepreneur slash fitness people side when it comes to that industry? Like, what is the most number one, like the number one issue we have right now for trainers?
I mean, I've been saying this for years. I really truly believe that most fitness professionals are terrible business professionals.
Okay, all
right? Like actually understanding finances, right? Because I went to school for 6 years to get my master's degree in exercise science.
Mhm.
So do you think I took one finance class? Not one.
I got it.
Not one.
I got it.
Not
I
one
got
business class. Didn't know how to even make a business plan. Nothing. Follow structure. None of it. Right? How to allocate funds appropriately throughout the year. Marketing, all of the stuff that really goes into being a successful entrepreneur. You learn none of it.
Mhm.
Right? It's just about coaching people. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur in the fitness space, and Mendez is a master at helping people with this. He can elaborate more on it, but you have to at least have a general understanding of everything there is to know about what your business is going to be doing, right? Because your point exactly, like you don't want to get fucked up. Like even I might not know everything, but if I'm going to hire you as my marketing team, I want to make sure that I'm not getting fucked.
Yeah, of course. No, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Anthony.
So I would say, I want to jump off something else too, but
go ahead.
He definitely hit it on the head. But also another problem I see is that it's also easy access to also certify too many coaches. I think that's a big problem. Where
elaborate.
It's some of these like gimmick tests that you can take online and just become a certified coach in literally a few minutes. I think it's ridiculous.
You could get your CPT in a day.
In a day. And call yourself a personal trainer. And I think that's ridiculous. And then you're seeing these people going online, social media, or in person, and then putting all this ridiculous stuff that they might have learned from other ridiculous.
I'm a kettlebell expert. Like you were in the workshop that I've taken 4 times, like just last weekend. How are you a kettlebell expert?
Are you serious?
Oh, dead.
Dude, serious? Oh,
dead.
I could be a finisher right now if I want to.
If you pulled up your phone right now, I guarantee you can look for it and find it.
So like
100%.
So like the other qualified certs, ACE, NASM. Well, nobody cares about that no more.
Well, but even within those, right? Yep. So, like, if you take someone who has an ACE or a NASM certification, and nothing against anyone who has those certs, like they're much better than some of the other ones out there. But you take someone like that over someone like me who has, I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist, which is like one of the top, actual certifying ones. You be okay, you're a coach. And a laundry list of other, workshops and certifications, plus a master's degree in exercise science.
Of course.
Now I'm, competing for customers against someone who took a weekend cert, right? Or an online one, and they're charging $50 and I'm charging $150.
Of course.
The client's gonna go, well, what's the difference between you? He's charging, well, the only difference is that he's cheaper. It's like, the human body doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly. I got you.
It's much more nuanced, and like even the communication skills, which is really what separates good coaches from exceptional coaches, is how you communicate with people. Like you don't just learn that by reading a textbook, right? Like I've trained thousands of people over my 11-year career to be able to have you understand the same thing that he understands, the same thing that my 90-year-old client will understand. The same concept will be explained 15 different times.
Yeah.
And it all has to make sense.
Yeah.
So that it's digestible.
Yeah. The same, I actually just thought about this just now. The same comparison, I would say, when you have like a doctor, right, has pretty much been doing this thing and trying to pretty much become a doctor for God knows how long, right? Versus a person, right, that has a NASM or an ACE. I'm not talking shit about you guys. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but has a certificate versus that person, right, that's not really, doesn't have too much experience. I do feel like being a trainer and being a doctor has some parallels to be very, very exclusively and like equally important.
100%.
So for instance, if you're a doctor, right, or you're a surgeon, right, if you fuck up on the surgery, that person can die. If you are a fitness trainer and you fuck up, guess what? Like you can have catastrophic injuries, like life-altering injuries. Right. Like you can break a leg, you can break your neck, you can possibly die. So like my question is like, why don't we have the same tenacity when it comes to like really, really enforcing the accreditation for fitness people as we do for the other professions in the medical field?
So I'll tell you first thing, one off the bat, money in business. You know,
Okay.
all these certs make so much money that
I mean, $1,000 a head.
yeah, they're
Or
going
more.
they're putting out the biggest, because they've been trying to create a license for personal training. They've been trying to create like some kind of boards or license that people have to go through as a requirement.
Yeah.
The problem is these certs make way too much money independently that they're pushing really hard for that not to happen. So a lot of it has to do with that, with the money. And also too, I think also too, like, as you see fitness is growing, it's becoming more respectable. I think it has gone a long way tremendously, but I think it's still not respected the way other careers are respected.
Why?
Well, it's a young field, right? So the actual field of exercise science used to be part of PE curriculum, physical education curriculum, right? So like until about maybe even at the earliest, like no. I mean, well, some programs, but like just in general, really exercise science started in like the 60s. Right, like real study of what happens with the body when you exercise. You know, the 60s, 70s. It wasn't really until like the 90s and 2000s that the research started to come out. It takes time, right? So that plays a big role, right? It's just a very, very young field. The money thing is huge, right? And you know, kind of to your point, I think it might even be worse what some trainers do to their clients than like a doctor messing up on his
absolutely.
Because like I see some of my clients 6 days a week, 6 days a week for over 5 years.
You probably only see a doctor, what, once a month, once every 2 months?
Maybe once a quarter, right? So like us as health coaches, right? We're directly affecting someone's genetic makeup on a daily basis, right? That has profound effects on someone's longevity and their quality of life through that longevity.
I don't think people take it that seriously. Like they can hear this and still don't take it that seriously. It's kind of like, oh, well, it's just health and fitness. No, it's not health and fitness.
Go to South Beach right now, go on the beach, and you'll see 15 trainers like just sitting there on their phone while they're
I do think that actually
exercise.
definitely how many fitness trainers we have that definitely increased because of the pandemic too, which can definitely be a tremendous, like a bad thing.
I mean, it's a good and a bad thing, right? Like more people in the field means like eventually like there's got to be some quality coaches in there, right?
For sure.
Yeah, like some type of vetting process. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, they're working towards it, but you know, you can always say, well, it could happen a lot faster, right? It's like, but if you rush it, you know, and then you're really saying that it's like this pinnacle of certification, and then you're letting all these people, like the CSCS used to be that, right? The certification I have, where like you couldn't be a collegiate strength coach without having that, and then every collegiate strength coach started having it. So they came out with a higher one where you had to spend like 8 months of an internship under someone who had this. It's called the CSCC. It's like Certified Strength Coach Certification, and you have to spend 8 months as an unpaid intern, right, under someone who's certified in that as like a master of 10 years. So like they even took it to another level because everyone had the CS. I mean, we had one of our friends who's a trainer who came on our podcast not too long ago. She asked like, oh, well, you have your CSCS. Like, you know, I think I should get it because it's going to validate me as a coach. I'm like, I've never one time ever had a client come up to me and be like, oh, wow, you have your CSCS? I'm going to train with you.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to validate you as a coach, but the information will help validate you as you practice that.
But here's the crazy part too. Like, let's say like, for example, I went to college and never finished my degree. I did like 2-3 years of exercise science, never got my bachelor's, but hear this. For example, like some certs, like the CSCS. Here comes a guy who got a degree in arts. He can take the CSCS,
not anymore.
And I can't.
That's ridiculous.
You can't do that
anymore.
You
can't? So
no,
they changed
it. They used to do that.
Good.
Like if you got a bachelor's in marketing, you could go and take it. Any degree, you could take it.
Which is ridiculous.
What the fuck?